Торжественным маршем проходит сводный парадный строй 20 Военного военного института физическую и орбитальную группировку. Все это современный диапазон деятельности выпускников.
It has become an annual event, the military parade in Red Square in Moscow and cities across Russia on 9 May, when the country marks its victory over Nazi Germany in 1945. Under Vladimir Putin, Victory Day has become a show of strength of troops and military hardware, as well as chance to remember the sacrifices of World War II. 27 million Soviet citizens died, by far the greatest loss of any country, in what Russians call the Great Patriotic War. This year, the event has taken on significance of its own. Far from liberating Europe, Russia has waged months of war against its neighbor, Ukraine, and is devoid of any real form of military victory that it can celebrate. Western media think so. Regiments that played a key role in the war will parade in front of top brass and the president, whose address will echo across Red Square and be scrutinized for what is expected next. Russia's leader often uses this moment to send message of intent. The Victory Day was occasionally marked in the Soviet era and revived by President Boris Yeltsin for the 50th anniversary in 1995. But it was Vladimir Putin in 2008 who made it an annual event featuring military hardware. Russian identity has been largely created with Victory Day in the background, with school books and history books focusing on Russia as Europe's wartime liberator. Even in a normal year, it's a huge show of Russia's strength, of Putin's control and everything he stands for, says analysts, and that's just amplified this year. Claims that he will declare an end to the campaign has been denied, as have reports that he will announce a full declaration of war or a mobilization of Russian men. Russia's military would not artificially adjust its action to any particular date, said Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Something short of full mobilization would be announced in response to Russia's big loss on the battlefield, but that could hit the president's popularity. After Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, Vladimir Putin marked Victory Day with a speech in Red Square about defeating fascism, before flying to the Black Sea port of Sevastopol to celebrate his new victory in front of thousands of onlookers. This year, the primary objective was to announce the victory of that supposed to happen in February, according to some analysts. Instead of celebrating the overthrow of Ukraine's government, the Kremlin will have to settle for the capture of most of Mariupol. The city may lie in ruins, but Russia has repeatedly talked of denazification and demilitarization of Ukraine, and it may claim defeat of the Azov battalion, which is portrayed as Nazi, that would resonate on a day marking World War II. In Russian cities and regional capitals, you can see signs of Victory Day symbol. Usually, the signs say May 9, 1945, but this year it's 1945/2022, so they are trying to provide people with the idea that once again they are standing up to Nazis. In Mariupol itself, there will be no Victory Day parade because of the apparent security threat. Russia's policy leader in the region, Denis Pushilin, has said the parade will have to wait until Mariupol becomes part of the so-called Donetsk People's Republic. There is unspecified events, though it could feature in Russian coverage. In the run-up of May 9, the city has had visits from Kremlin TV, Spain, Dr. Vladimir Soloin, and delegation from the Kremlin led the President Deputy Chief of Staff, Sergei Kiyeko. The Red Square Victory Day parade is about aesthetics too, and military hardware in particular is a chance for the Kremlin to show off its latest weapon. It was Armata T-14 tank that turned heads on Victory Day in 2015, but it has been conspicuous by its absence in the war in Ukraine. because it is not yet ready for frontline combat. Ukraine says it has destroyed over 1,000 less modern Russian tanks on the battlefield. There is less hardware and fewer tools this year than 2021, but there are still over 11,000 tools and 129 pieces of military equipment, according to Russian analysts. Gone with one of Russia's newest tanks, the T-80 BVM, as well as the Pantsir S-1 anti-aircraft missile system. The aerial display also adjusts big as before, with 77 planes and helicopters, and the Air Force has been rehearsing over Red Square in a Z form, the controversial symbol adopted by invading forces. But there is no foreign leaders this year, which the Kremlin put down to the 77th anniversary not being significant event in itself. Most of the messaging around victory is directed at the Russian population anyway. By harassing the Nazi narrative from World War II, the Kremlin is able to stir up strong feelings because most Russians have relatives who either died or struggled in the war. While events taking place in Russia in neighboring countries, 9 May has become less and less significant. Kazakhstan has cancelled its military parade for third year running, and Latvia has declared it a day of remembrance for victims of Russia's war in Ukraine.
Академии. Великий подвиг краснофлотцев и командиров Великой Отечественной войны, их беззаветная преданность и любовь